What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin. I hope you are having a fantastic day. And I hope you are having a fantastic day. Thank you for clicking on this video. Be sure and give it a like. Thank you so much. Today, we are going to be talking about the critically acclaimed, Oscar-winning Nightmare Sisters. I'm kidding, of course. And more specifically, we're going to be talking about the Vinegar Syndrome release of Nightmare Sisters. Now, admittedly, this was a film that I had not heard of, had not been on my radar whatsoever until the Black Friday sale at Vinegar Syndrome, the halfway to Black Friday sale. The incredible artwork by Devin Dude Designs caught my eye. I read the synopsis and I had to have it, and I ordered it directly from Vinegar Syndrome. And I'm glad I did, because this movie was a very pleasant surprise. This movie is a full-on blast from beginning to end. Now, I'm not saying it's objectively a good movie or that it's exceptionally well made by any means, but this falls very comfortably into the category of so bad it's good.
Come on, make love to me.
Good. For some, you may just think it's so bad, but for me, I got a kick of every frame out of this movie, and every frame, speaking of this Vinegar Syndrome release, looks amazing. We have a brand new 2K scan, fully restored and color corrected from the original 35mm print. This movie looks absolutely incredible. The restorations that they are able to do specifically on these 35mm prints are just absolutely incredible. The colors, the resolution, there's still grain there, but it just looks like it was shot yesterday. It is absolutely beautiful print of this movie. The movie was directed by David Duchovny and stars Linnea Quigley, Michelle Bauer, and Brink Stevens, three beautiful scream queens from the 80s, and this was their first appearance on camera all together. Later, there was a reunion of sorts in one or two other films where those three got back together and were on screen again, but this was the first time they had appeared on screen all together. Now, David Duchovny, the director, said this film was put together for $40,000, shot over a period of 4 days, with a screenplay that was written in just under a week, and using leftover cast and crew and film scraps left over from his previous film, Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolorama. Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolorama, also starring Linnea Quigley. This movie was rushed into production and filmed in a house that was rented by the director or producer or somebody. They had this location for just a few days. They got together for a couple days and filmed Nightmare Sisters. From the opening scene of this movie, I knew I was in for something special. This movie is directed, I guess you could call it directed. The majority of the shots have actors framed, and the camera just sort of sits and watches them talk for 5 to 7 minutes at a time, and then moves to another location of the house. Camera static, characters are talking without cuts for 5 to 7 minutes at a time, and it's just, it's baffling to watch, but at the same time, you can't take your eyes off of it. Now we'll get into the plot of this movie. Not that it matters a whole lot, but there is a loose plot. The film opens up with the character called Omar, who is played by a guy named Dookie Flyswatter. That's the actor's name, who also did the music for the film. This opening scene is so absurd and so ridiculous, so over the top, and he's reading this woman's fortune out of a crystal ball.
Hey, Clinton, are you out there?
And he acts super weird. His performance is just absolutely insane. And through a weird circumstance, he ends up getting sucked into this crystal ball. That is then purchased by one of our three main characters and brought into this house that we spend the majority of our movie in. Actors Linnea Quigley, Brink Stevens, and Michelle Bauer play three sorority sisters. They're very 80s stereotypical sorority sisters who are like the nerds of their sorority. None of the guys like them on campus, and they're just desperately trying to get a date. So they decide, when the rest of their sorority sisters are out doing something, they have the house to themselves and they want to have a party. And that's what they do. And one of them is super into thrifting and just starts showing all of her friends all of these random things that she had got while thrifting. One of them happens to be this crystal ball that Omar, our opening character, is trapped trapped inside of. They decide to bring this out when they have their guys over for their party to have a little seance. Evil is unleashed from this crystal ball, and the ladies are turned into these evil man-eating, literal man-eating succubuses or succubi. And what's interesting about this movie is from the minute they turn into these succubus man-eating women, they are completely and utterly butt naked, and they stay naked on just fully nude on camera for about, I don't know, what seems like a half an hour. When they first turn into the succubuses, there's this scene where the camera's just on them and they're just seductively like playing with their hair and shit and stroking their bodies for like 5 minutes. Then they move into this insane kitchen scene where they're feeding each other pies and whipped cream and shit, and they're just standing there butt naked eating pies off of each other. And then they go into this another insane scene, this infamous bathtub scene where they're splashing each other with water and shit because, you know, they got pie all over them. They need to clean up somehow, right? So then there's another gratuitous bathtub scene where they're all like washing each other down. The whole movie is absurd. I don't even think it's really like I need to spoiler alert anything because nothing in the movie makes sense. Nothing really matters. The girls are brought together. They turn into succubuses. They're naked and they bang a lot, and the dudes get killed. I mean, it's a very simple plot, but I absolutely had a blast. If anybody who's familiar with the heydays of USA Up All Night, hosted by Gilbert Godfrey and Rhonda Shear.
1993, next on USA Up, 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 all night.
Who actually has a really cool YouTube channel. Check out Rhonda Shear's channel. She revisits and posts all kinds of old USA Up All Night stuff. It's really fun to watch. This movie was a staple on USA Up All Night back in the day, and they actually did a TV cut because, like I said, the movie is a majority just fully frontal naked chicks. So to get this on TV, they actually got the actors together a year later in a different location that doesn't match the rest of the movie and filmed this TV edit that's also hilarious. All of the scenes of the TV edit are included on this Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. This movie just has me laughing. It's just so much fun. The special features are amazing. You have an introduction by the director, scanned and restored in 2K, commentary track with director and actress Linnea Quigley, director introduction, alternate feature-length TV version, interviews, bloopers, reversible artwork, a lot of stuff packed into this amazing package with yet another incredible slipcover from Vinegar Syndrome. Guys, I can't recommend this movie enough for folks who love so bad they're good movies. I just had an absolute blast with this, and this is some of the best cover art I've ever seen from Devin, the Dude Designs. He does artwork for all kinds of these film companies, distribution companies. Going into 2021, I am going to be doing a ton of individual movie reviews, more than I've ever done before. That's what I really kind of want to focus on doing, is highlighting some of my favorite movies, telling you guys about them. Hopefully I can help you guys discover some cool new movies. So guys, that is it. That's my review of Nightmare Sisters and the Vinegar Syndrome release of Nightmare Sisters. Terrible objectively, but amazing in B-movie fandom. So definitely check that out. Check out my other videos. Give this video a like. That's all I got today, guys. Thank you so much. Stay weird, and until next time, bye.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies. I love watching them, and I love making them.